Hi everyone, welcome to Excel lesson 2. So in today's lesson we are going to focus on a few things. Number one thing that we are going to look at is how you can move around the worksheet. Okay, and number two, we are going to look at how to manipulate worksheet tabs. Okay, and finally we are going to look at how to adjust the column width and also how to adjust the row height. Okay, so those are things that we are going to look at today. Now, before we come to that, I want us to do a quick recap of what we talked about in the previous lesson. So in the previous lesson, I introduced you to the basic concepts of a spreadsheet, or rather Microsoft Excel. We talked about a workbook, and we say the workbook is simply an electronic file that contains worksheets. Okay, so these are more like a page in a workbook. Okay, so I hope that people still remember that. From there, we talked about the columns and the rows. Okay, that is another thing that we talked about. And finally, we talked about how to get we talked about cells and also how to get the address of a cell. So we said that the address of a cell is basically a combination of the column letter and the row number. Okay, so like this one, this is B2. So you get the letter of the column and the row number. That would be the address of your cell. And we said it is a cell is simply an intersection of the column and the row. Okay, so those are things that we talked about in the previous lesson. So I just hope that people still remember that. Okay, now coming to today's lesson. Let's begin with how you can move around the worksheet. Okay, so remember I said that when working with Excel, you enter data in the in the cells. Okay, so therefore it is very important that you know how to navigate or move around the worksheet. Okay, so number one method, or number one way on how you can move around the worksheet, it's by using the mouse. So you can simply move the cursor to any cell that you want to use and click there. Okay, and you'll be able to enter data in that particular cell. So you can simply move the cursor by using the mouse to any location and press there. Then you'll be able to select that particular cell and you'll be able to enter some data in that cell. So that is one way of moving around the worksheet, by using the mouse. Okay. Now, apart from that, okay, moving around the worksheet can be done using what we call the arrow keys. Okay, so the arrow keys have four arrows. Okay, so we have the up arrow and the down arrow, we have the left arrow and the right arrow. So those are arrows that we use to navigate around the worksheet. So let's begin with the down arrow. So the down arrow will allow you to move one cell down at a time. So right now I'm pressing the down arrow and I'm able to move one cell down at a time. Okay. Alternatively, moving down the worksheet can be done using the enter key. Okay, so when you press the enter key, you'll be able to move one cell at a time, or you'll be able to move one cell down at a time. So the down arrow and the enter key, they actually function the same in Microsoft when it comes to moving around the worksheet. So you can move, you can press the down arrow or the enter key to move down. Okay, now let's see how you can move up the worksheet. So you can press the up arrow if you want to move up the worksheet. So right now I'm pressing the up arrow. Okay, and I'm able to move up. Okay, so that is how the up arrow functions. So you press it to if you want to move upwards. Okay, now let's see how to move when you want to move to the right. So moving to the right, you can use the right arrow, just as the name implies. These arrows, these keys, they are very easy to use because the names itself are able to tell you what they are used for. So the right arrow is going to move one cell to the right at a time. Now, moving to the right, you can also do it using the tab key. When you press the tab key, you'll be able to move one cell at a time to the right. Okay, so right now I'm pressing the tab key. Okay, now if you want to move backwards, you want to move to the left. Okay, you can use the left arrow to go to the left. Okay, alternatively, that can be done by holding down the shift and pressing tab. Okay, you hold shift and then you press tab, you'll be able to move to the left. So that is how you can navigate around the around the worksheet. Okay, that is very important to know because you will be required to use various cells here. So you should be able to move to that particular cell that you want to use. So you can either use the mouse or you can use the arrow keys. Okay, so that is how you can move around the worksheet. Now let's see how we can manipulate the worksheet tabs. Okay, so these worksheets, they are used, they may contain different information. Okay, therefore it is important that we give them names which actually guide us, or which can tell us, which can help us to know or to tell what kind of information is contained in that particular worksheet. Okay, so it is important that we give the tabs proper names. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So you simply move to that particular worksheet tab that you want to rename. So when you are there, you just right click, then go to rename. Okay, then you press there, and then you type the name of that tab. So let me call this tab testing 1. Okay, and let me call this one testing 2. Okay, and let me call this one testing 3. Okay, so I think in my previous lesson I showed you how you can add these worksheets. You can simply press on the plus button there. You'll be able to add as many tabs as possible. So that is how we can add worksheet tabs there. Okay, so that's how you can rename them. You can simply right click, then this list will come, then go to rename, and then type the name of the of the tab. Okay, so that is basically how you can rename the cell, the tabs. Okay, now you can as well assign colors to the tabs. Okay, and that is very simple. You just right click, then you go to the tab color option, then you can choose any color of your preference there. Okay, you can choose any color of your choice. Okay, so I can give this one yellow, can give this one green. Okay, so that is basically how you can assign colors to the tabs. Okay, I hope that is clear. Let's look at the final part, how to adjust the columns and also how to adjust the row height. Okay, let's begin with the columns. Okay, now why is it important to adjust these columns? Okay, so what happens is that sometimes you may enter some data in the cell, and maybe that cell is not big enough to accommodate or to display that particular data. Okay, so it is important that you move that cell, or I mean that column, so that that data can fit in properly in that cell. Okay, so for example, let me type a name there. Okay, let me say Ndamze Pande. Okay, so as you can see, this is in cell A1, but it has exceeded. It is even appearing as if it is in there is a part which is in B1. Okay, but everything is in A1. Okay, so this we can see that that cell is not big enough to have all the text displayed there. So we have to adjust so that our data can be fully contained in that particular cell there. Okay, so we can see that now everything is in one box. Okay, so that is why it is important that we adjust the cells. So this can be done by just going up there. Okay, you go there, and when the horizontal line gets the arrow on both ends, okay, you can now press the left button of your mouse and then hold and move. Okay, so that's how you can do that. So you can either move to the left or you can move to the right. Now as you do that, you are going to observe that when you are moving to the right, the width of the column is increasing there. Okay, now when you go backwards, when you go to the left, the width is decreasing. So that is how you can adjust the column width. Okay, alternatively, that can be done by selecting the columns that you want to adjust. You select them and then you right click, then go to column width. Okay, just click there and then this will pop up, and where it is written column width, you can just enter the width that you want there. So let me enter 25. Okay, and then click OK, and as you can see, my columns have been adjusted to 20. Okay, so that is how you can do that. Okay, so let me reverse that. Let me put 15. Okay, so that is how you can adjust the columns. Now let us also look at how we can adjust the row height. Okay, let's also look at how we can adjust the row height. Okay, so that can be done by you move your cursor there. Okay, where you have the numbers, or where you have the line demarcating the rows, and you see that the vertical line will have arrows on both ends. Okay, so when it is like that, that is when you drag down or up. Okay, so I can adjust the row heights just by you go on that line which is demarcating the rows. Okay, and you see the vertical line on your cursor having arrows on both ends. Okay, that means that you can either move up or down. So that is how you can do that. Okay, that is how you can do that. Alternatively, that can also be done by just selecting the rows that you want to adjust. Then you right click, and then this list will come. Go to row height, and then as you can see right now, the height is 15. So we can enter maybe 30. Let's put 30 and see what will happen. Okay, so as you can see, the height has been adjusted. Okay, so that is basically how you can adjust the column width, and also how you can adjust the row height. Okay, so at this point, I hope that everyone has followed me nicely. Okay, so we are going to end here for today. So I just hope that everyone has enjoyed. Okay, so let's meet next time. Okay, so please, if you have not subscribed, make sure that you hit the subscription button there, so that whenever I upload a new video, you will receive a notification. Please do not forget to subscribe. Okay, thank you so much. Let's meet next time.